All right, let's get right into this. Welcome, University of Hawaii Maui College Business Comm students, to this explainer. I am officially stepping into my role as your expert speech coach today, and we are going to completely conquer your final festival video. We're going to break down exactly what you need to do to hit those superior marks, secure all 40 points, and honestly, just end your summer session on an absolute high note. So, the core philosophy of this entire assignment is actually really simple. The instructions explicitly say, make your final festival a story and be the confident storyteller you are. Let that sink in for a second. This is definitely not about robotic perfection. It's not about standing completely rigid and just reciting a list of facts. It's really about letting your natural personality and your authentic experiences shine through.
Okay, here is our game plan for today's explainer. We've got a really clear step-by-step playbook for your success. 1. The mindset shift. 2. 3 chapters of growth. 3. Nailing the camera mechanics. And 4. Practicing with Gemini Live. Let's dive in.
Section 1. The mindset shift. Storyteller, not robot.
Right, so this addresses the single biggest trap I see students fall into when they record a presentation, the overwhelming urge to memorize and read. Look, let me be absolutely clear about what's in your syllabus. If your instructor can tell you're reading off a screen, using an outline, or relying on sticky notes, you are going to get 0 credit for that section. Reading just makes you stiff, it looks totally robotic, and it instantly breaks the connection with your audience. Instead, you've got to rely on engaging storytelling, you want natural eye contact, confident delivery, and honestly, just treat the camera lens like a real person sitting right across the table from you.
And the grading rubric literally demands this natural connection. To secure a superior score for eye contact and engagement, it strictly requires excellent eye contact and explicitly warns against regurgitating memorized information. You don't want to memorize a script. You just need to visualize your ideas, turn your speech into short little stories, and know your stuff well enough to just talk about it comfortably.
Moving on to Section 2, 3 chapters of growth, structuring your narrative.
So now that we know we're speaking naturally and without notes, let's build what you're actually going to say. We need a rock-solid structure to keep you on track for that 5 to 7 minute requirement. Like any great story, yours needs a clear beginning, middle, and end. You'll start with a snappy 15 to 30 second introduction that features a creative attention getter and a quick preview of your topics. Then comes the real meat of the speech, the body. This is roughly 4 to 5 minutes dedicated to 3 main points, heavily supported by your own personal stories. And finally, you'll wrap it all up with a 15 to 30 second conclusion that summarizes everything and leaves us with a totally memorable close. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly are those 3 main points for the body of the speech? Well, the cool part is, you're actually going to recycle. You will transform 3 specific questions from your elevator pitch self-evaluation, that's questions 2, 5, and 6, into the distinct chapters of your narrative. Chapter 1 is all about your personal growth in the class and how you connect those specific experiences to your daily life. Chapter 2 focuses entirely on the single most valuable AI tool or skill you learned. And Chapter 3? That's your definitive advice to future summer students taking this exact course. The trick to making this sound incredibly professional is turning those rubric questions into really powerful declarative claims. So, for example, instead of asking yourself how you grew, you state it as a hard fact. The spoken presentation confidence I built in BUSCUM 130 directly improved my daily interpersonal interactions. Boom. That is a strong, confident main point right there. And from there, you don't need any notes. You just naturally transition into a story about a specific interaction, maybe at your job or with a family member, to back up that claim. All right, Section 3, nailing the camera mechanics, the perfect frame. I'm going to put my strict director hat on for a minute here because these are technical points you absolutely do not want to lose out on. Honestly, it doesn't matter how amazing your story is if we can't see you properly. The instructions demand a strict 3/4 shot framing. You must be standing up, no sitting at a desk. Your body needs to be clearly visible from just above your head all the way down to your hands, and absolutely 0 notes can be in view. Let's break down these non-negotiable physical framing rules to make sure you grab all those video quality points. First up, the camera has to be strictly at eye level. So not pointing up at the ceiling, not looking down at your laptop keyboard, right at eye level. Second, leave exactly 1 flat hand of space between the top of your head and the top of the video frame. Just 1 hand.
And third, your arms, your hands, and all your conversational gestures have got to remain inside the video frame for the entire 5 to 7 minutes. Oh, and please remember to remove all physical barriers. No lecterns, no tables, no kitchen counters hiding half your body. We want a completely unobstructed view of you, the storyteller. Physical barriers tend to create psychological barriers, and we're aiming for pure connection between you and the lens. Before we get to the really fun tech stuff, let's quickly hammer out the submission logistics so you don't trip up right at the finish line. Your video must be 5 to 7 minutes exactly. Do not go a second under 5 minutes. It has to be shot in one single continuous take, so no fancy jump cuts, no editing at all. You're going to upload it as an unlisted video to YouTube, which keeps it private but lets anyone with a link watch it. Finally, post it to the Laulamima discussion board using a catchy headline that hyperlinks directly to your video. Simple enough, right? Okay, final section. Section 4, Practicing with Gemini Live, your AI sparring partner. This is literally your secret weapon. Think of Gemini Live as your AI sparring partner. You don't have to practice in a vacuum by yourself anymore. You have an expert speech coach living right in your pocket. Your instructor provided a highly specific workflow using that Google Doc titled Gemini Live Practice Assistant. Here's exactly how to set it up. First, open a new chat in the Gemini app and paste the massive prompt from that document. Second, find the bracketed placeholders and fill in your specific major and your presentation goals. Third, turn on the Gemini Live feature and make sure your camera's on so the AI can actually watch your framing and gestures. Finally, step back, give a 5-to-1 countdown out loud, and just start your practice speech. Now pay attention here, because how you end the practice session is absolutely crucial. Gemini is actively listening to you speak. When you wrap up your conclusion, you must give it this exact voice command. I am done with my presentation, start the evaluation. That specific phrase is the trigger that tells Gemini to stop listening and start calculating your feedback based on the class rubric. Using this tool is a massive advantage because Gemini is literally programmed with your exact grading criteria. It's wild. It's going to evaluate how creative your hook was. It'll analyze your vocal tone and volume. It even runs an anti-reading protocol to detect if your eyes are wandering off screen. And it will check your posture and see if you actually maintained that tricky one flat hand of head clearance. It is a complete top-to-bottom diagnostic of your performance. But a quick heads up, don't expect it to go easy on you. In the back-end prompt, Gemini is instructed to act as an executive communication coach and to be a supportive truth teller because its value lies in its objectivity. It isn't just going to hand you a digital high five for a mediocre run. It's specifically designed to push you from a satisfactory level to absolutely superior. Honestly, it might even interrupt you mid-speech if you step out of frame. And here is the ultimate bonus play for you. If you actually use Gemini Live as your practice assistant and submit a brief reflection on the experience, which includes pasting the actual text feedback the AI generated for you, you can earn extra credit for the course. So engaging with this tool doesn't just guarantee you a way better final speech, it literally pads your final grade with bonus points. All right, we've covered the mindset, the 3-chapter structure, the framing mechanics, and the Gemini tech. You have the complete playbook in your hands. You have an AI coach ready to practice with you anytime, anywhere. You know for a fact you shouldn't memorize, and you know you just need to be a natural, engaging storyteller. So the only real question left to ask is this. Are you ready to step up to that lens and tell your ultimate success story? Go get your camera set up, boot up Gemini Live, and show everyone exactly what kind of incredible communicator you've become this summer. You've got this.